Why is that showing up now?
I didn't mean you had to stop talking. I just meant don't put it or something.
Good evening.
Thank you guys for joining on Zoom.
Michelle is coming, Julie and Allie are
I
coming.
can't see.
How many do we
Oh,
need?
Mrs. Casad, there it is. I see.
Feeling well, so
How many people do we have on here?
I think. No, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Allie, come here.
15.
Stop.
No, we'll just get like thousands. Jump on.
We have 5.
No, that's not 5. That's
I'm tired.
okay. All right, well,
My husband's not answering, I'm trying to call him. You need to. My husband's. Yeah, mine's not home yet. It's my son.
Your husbands wouldn't even do that. Mine's.
Well, yeah, but you're slow, yeah. It's supposed to be on. Phone. Via phone. Does that count?
trying to adjust into the bylaws, but we will get started in a minute. Those on the Zoom, thank you.
Hey, you find that Zoom, I'll send it to you. You don't have the other camera on. Yeah.
Nope.
Thanks. Oh, Trisha, favorite fish back there, yeah.
Good evening. All right. Hello. Right.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14.
And then like get on. All right, well, I think we can start our meeting. So we'll start with welcome and introductions like we typically do. You might feel like, well, we all know each other, but just in case. And for our special guests to be able to provide an introduction. Next, we'll just do some committee updates and then talk about some new business like today for the a big portion is that like we're just looking to spend the money. So that's one of the things that we want to talk about. Some investments we can make in the school and then see if there's any other new business. Julie and Allie are running late, but they'll be here in a little bit. And then this is our last like regular session meeting. We'll do a transition meeting for the board members come in June. But this will be the last meeting, which is why we're trying to spend a lot of money. So we will talk about that, but we'll start with introductions. I'm Mike Stefanski. Hank is in 4th grade and Ivy is in 2nd grade. And I am one of the co-chairs for the PTO.
Oh, hi, I am Stephanie Tran. I am current dispersing treasurer. I have Seraphina in 3rd grade and I have Elliot. I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I am currently Lisco next year. So, I have Riley who's a junior in high school, and then I have this woman starting in 2nd grade.
Caitlin Shump, I'm the current vice co-chair, soon to be co-chair. I have Vivian who's in 3rd grade, and I have Eleanor who is over at Ducklings and will be at NPE in a couple years.
Great.
I'm Claria and I'll be vice co-chair next year. And I have Lynn who's in 1st grade and Wendy who will be here in kindergarten next year.
I'm Mary Conowitz. I'm the teacher rep. I'm a reading specialist well, for tonight. I'm a reading specialist of K through 5. And my kids all went through NPE.
Hi, I'm Leah. I have Luke in third, Alvin in second, and Audrey in kindergarten. Oh, we're just saying our names. Michelle Slavin, and I have a fifth in this third
I'm Jessica Stillman Lloyd. I'm the current secretary. This is my last meeting as in the position of secretary. I had a thought that I've been coming to PTO meetings for 10 years.
So a lot.
You have a lot more to go.
Two, so yeah.
A lot more meetings.
And, a lot more meetings, yes, but, yes, and I have the 3 children, one's in 8th grade, one's in 5th grade, and one's in 3rd.
Allison Wynn, Charlotte N's mom, out of the Charlottes. In the first grade,
First day.
yeah, the first grade Charlottes. And then I have a almost 2-year-old over at Ducklings as well, and I will be stepping in as secretary. I'm just gonna take some notes.
Is there anybody on the Zoom that wants to introduce themselves or say hello? I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but please feel free to come off mute and say hi. All right. Then we'll start with that. So we're going to kind of flip our order. Typically we do principal then teacher update. We're going to start with teacher update here. Do you mind if I just ask while you present or talking? Do you mind coming a little bit closer to you so that the camera can hear you?
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm not really organized today. I let Al know last minute that I would be able to make it, and I sent out an email and.
We're thrilled that you're here.
All that matters.
I will start with kindergarten. This is what they sent me. We recently planted sunflower seeds to watch them grow. They also have the Elmwood Park Zoo coming tomorrow for the Zoo on Wheels program. I didn't know it was tomorrow. It's a great way for them to apply their animal classification. In first grade, they are always specific, and I don't really know specifically what they're planning or what they're doing. I don't know, do they have a zoo trip or anything coming up?
Two.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you've been to
Yeah.
those, but I was like, so, I'm sorry, I don't quite have to think about first grade right now, but second grade. And I did see some second graders outside and added more to this. They must be doing a poetry unit. They are going to the zoo. I know that trip is coming up. And their caterpillars have now turned to chrysalis. We were excited about that. In third grade, and we had a third grade, there she is right there. They came back from Crystal Cave today. I went to Buckley, they looked exhausted, so if you have a third grade.
Already our 1 3rd grader is asleep.
Yeah. Fell asleep and in his underoos on the couch in like 30 seconds.
And I know like that trip is really great. I know when my daughter went, she loved it. So it's a great experience. Fourth grade, I couldn't speak to anyone there. I don't know if you wanted anything.
They're
more.
excited. They're going back, first time new trip. We had it this year, Pennsbury Manor, up in Bucks County. I believe it's May 30th. That they're going. And they're also relieved to be done with PSSA.
Yeah, that's good.
Because they took 2 extra ones compared to everybody else because they take the science PSSA.
And the fifth grade, they have their big Washington DC trip, so that's really exciting, and that's relatively new. They started it last year, and just as I mentioned, 3, 4, and 5 PSSAs are done. Really, the overall consensus that I heard from teachers was that our students really put forth a lot of effort. There was a lot of kids that did their like rough drafts, and then they really went back and they checked. So that was really great to hear. I'm sure that they were talk about exhausting. Haley Lombard wanted me to let everyone know, and I think Al, you probably have this too, that May 17th is beginning orchestra and beginning band concerts. May 25th is advanced orchestra, advanced band, select chorus, and 5th grade chorus. And then both days will have the morning concert and the evening concert. Lauren DeSantis wanted to let us know that the kids loved our visitors last Friday from To Love Canine. We had little puppies here. The kids that are kindness week. Oh, they had the opportunity to meet these little puppies that are up for adoption. That was a great stress reliever for students. And kindness week continues with Purple Dolphin Dollars given out for random acts of kindness, daily drawings during morning announcements, and students in grade 4 and 5 are visiting classrooms to read kindness news stories. What I wanted to mention to the PTO is thank you so much for your generosity, especially, I mean, all the time. You're an exceptional PTO. But this week it's just been really, really nice. So I did ask people like to send me some things that they appreciated. I mean, just got a few quotes, but I personally love the trail mix today. I'm really trying to eat more nuts in my diet. So when I was like, oh, I have a little bag in my purse too.
I did it just for you.
And I said, I'm here. Oh, thank you. And I don't know who this is from. Thank you for your delicious lunch, snacks, surprises, and all the time and work everyone puts in making us feel appreciated. So great and necessary to have an extra cup of coffee on a Monday morning. That was a treat. I wanted to thank the PTO for celebrating not only teachers, but the entire staff, because without our teaching assistants and support staff, we would be lost. Having a special treat for one day is so nice, but for an entire week is above and beyond. We love our PTO and all the support they give us throughout the school year. Their time, effort, and enthusiasm does not go unnoticed. Someone else, I've always wanted to try Bittersweet Kitchen, and now that I've had their BLT, I'm going back. Great lunch, and thank you so much for the lovely tokens of appreciation. We are so grateful for how thoughtful our PTO always is, and really, truly, you're so generous and so thoughtful. So we really, really appreciate it. Oh, and also, Lisa Ferraro wanted me to mention something that is coming up that's pretty new, a community dinner. Really, she really wants to get families together and just to sit and eat a meal. This is the flyer that she sent out, and she was saying that, and let's see, Friday, June 2nd would be the first one from 4:30 to 6:30. It's bring their favorite food to share. It's supposed to be outside, but inside of it rains. And I think she was saying even like on the tables, there'll be little conversation starters and just little things just to have people sit and eat together. That's what we do.
We should all go make an effort. So wait, who's starting?
Oh, I'm sorry, this is Lisa.
That was the traditional, it's been renamed, reposted, I should
Yeah.
post it. It's a behavioral health counselor, because social worker has same responsibility, she is licensed, but really she's used, we do those social emotional surveys. She works a lot with students, you know, on different skills. She also works closely with Mrs. DeSantis and myself. So I don't say it's just like a second counselor, but in some ways it is just a little more clinical perspective.
So like, are you guys all coming, or this is just like mostly for parents, or how?
So, yeah, so the idea of this is actually more for the future. Sarah Benamy and Lisa, the big idea is next year to have our students create in art class, like soup bowls, and it becomes a soup night. So it's kind of like, let's see how this goes, because we were almost going to table it. They really just wanted to try to get something out. I said, sure. I have said, you might not, the garden area may not fit, you might get a massive response. So, you know, they'll do a sign up, and if we have to change location based on the sign up, we will do so. But this is kind of I would say soft opening for this. But the idea is we plan on having some sort of community dinner night where people can bring something and really an opportunity for our families to sit down together here in the school, and also have academic resources. We are a Title I school. Like, while we have an audience, we want to also provide supports for parents, you know, with school related themes. But that obviously takes a little bit more planning than than the time, but that's the goal and the idea of this. Yeah, and Lisa's been with us just about a year, a little, about a year now.
Oh, we'll get it.
Yeah, that's where it showed up, yeah. Call me. Yeah.
No beat about this today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
Any
Yeah.
questions?
Any questions?
Can, I mean, I don't know when Mrs. Lisa Ferraro is coming up with the sign of G's and all of that, if she wants us to help promote it or not, or if she wants to keep it through. And
That would
what
be
if-
great. I did talk to her about PTO and offering to help and
and like
I
what
offered to help
support
coordinate
we
that,
can
yeah.
do,
I mean, it's
like-
paper.
Support stuff up to $249.
Got it. It's paper products.
Yeah.
And, oh shoot.
I know. What was-
Oh my God, I didn't write it down. It was paper products. Water.
So can we buy them?
Well, we might have stuff in the PTO file.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put her in touch with you guys directly.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
so she'll know the, once we know the signups, we'll know the exact need.
Okay.
So $500.
All the money.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I'm joking, but I think it's a wonderful. No, but it's a wonderful idea, and I would love to be. able to support this. Yeah. No, but if, you know, whatever we can do.
Yep. It's the long-term idea for the family dinner is to do an art project
Oh, right.
where the students are making soup bowls and then you can bring them.
Yeah.
That'd be like a soup.
They have Legos in there. All sorts of stuff.
Any other questions? Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate seeing you. Having you here.
Thank you.
All right, well then we'll continue on. With principal update. I know on our agenda, we said we were gonna do board introductions, but I feel like you all introduced yourself while we're doing it. I think I mentioned that our timeline for transition is that we'll have a transition meeting in June. And the official board will start July 1st. So don't ask the new board members for anything until July. Yeah,
Direct all questions to Mike.
yeah, existing board members will handle things to June 30th, 11:59 p.m. All right, so Mr. Heinley, yes, your update.
First of all, acknowledge everybody at home. Good evening. Good to see everybody. I do want to thank Mary Kahanowitz once again. I know I raved about her before when she came out this year, but I just want to thank her and all of the reading specialists. I cannot tell you how well, and not just my reading specialists, my math support reading specialists and ELL. They are so good or so effective working together. The PSSA, we have one coordinator, but it's a whole team. But they are just such a great group to work with, and I work closely with them. And just Mary's positivity, that group's positivity is just, I appreciate that. So I'm glad that this week, they're being acknowledged by our community, all the teachers. I'm actually going to jump in. I'm going to dovetail a little bit out of order for my usual report. I'm going to apologize to my fifth grade parents because I'm what I would say a week overdue with an email about this DC trip, but I just keep getting more information. Mary Gay Scanlon is going to be giving a personal tour. They had to change their schedule as of last Friday. So that changed our schedule, but the good news is, when we arrive in DC, it's very likely that we will actually go up to the gallery and see a vote in progress. And that was not originally part of the trip. Just yesterday, I heard from Senator Casey, and regardless of which side of the aisle, everyone is on, we're gonna have an opportunity that very, very few people have. We're hoping to get a picture taken with Senator Casey. And if things work out, if there's one thing I've learned, you need to be flexible when it comes to working with the government schedule, which I'll be saying to the fifth grade parents. But it looks really, really promising what the experience the kids are going to get, at least at the Capitol. A picture with Casey, Mary Gay Scanlon has to remain with us to the tour. Like she's going to give us the tour. The hope is that if the vote goes the way they think in timely fashion, she will give the tour. The students will actually, hopefully, have an opportunity to be on the floor of the House. Yeah, and that's so we're working through some details, and again, it's frustrating when it comes to field trips, concrete, but we're really excited about it. So it does appear we're gonna wrap up the Capitol visit. Students can bring snacks and everything else on the trip, but we're looking at meal vouchers, so the kids can actually eat in the cafe to keep everything as tight as possible. That is a change. But unfortunately, brown paper bag lunches, liquids cannot go into the Capitol, and we can't access the buses. So we're really wrapping up the trip. The bottom line is, this looks like,
We were excited.
Yeah,
when we heard that
this
around.
looks like it's gonna be a really good experience. So we're excited, but I do have the email coming out just about what to bring, what not to bring. I will be asking chaperones to bring a camera or a phone, because instead of having students with phones, I am concerned about that. I'll be very upfront about cell phones on this trip and social media. The chaperones will be taking pictures. We're gonna hopefully load them up to a Google file that we can then share out. So parents can have access to a whole variety of pictures. But bottom line, that email is will be coming out any moment now, my 5th grade parents, but we're really excited to have this opportunity. Also, thank you, 5th grade parent Leanne Kruger, local rep. She really has been instrumental in trying to secure this for our children. So 5th grade, very excited. 5th grade has obviously a lot of events with graduation coming up, culminating in graduation, which is Thursday, June 15th at roughly 9 a.m. We'll say 9:15 by the time we start. But 5th grade obviously is very excited about the trips and the events coming up. Mrs. K talked about the concerts coming up Wednesday the 17th, beginning band and orchestra. Thursday the 25th, choral and advanced concert. Thank you to Mrs. Lombard for helping our 5th grade families out with moving those concerts around. So I have to thank Mrs. Lombard. May 26th, we're looking forward to Mayfair. Picnic week, where our grade levels have picnics out in the back fields the first week in June. So we're looking forward to that. And that's my report in terms of all the events coming up. In my e-blast, I will have information that's been sent out, I believe, by the superintendent about the community meetings for the strategic planning. We've had some parents participate that. We've had a lot of meetings in the last couple of weeks, but a lot of work has been accomplished. And looking forward to sharing with PTO the different pathways. My September PTO meeting will really be, here's where the district is looking to go in the next, 8 to 10 years with this plan. We're getting down to okay, we need a diversity and equity plan. That's one initiative. I'm just saying one of what will be many. But those are the things that are coming out of this group. So it's exciting work, but it's been a lot of work, a lot of feedback from a lot of stakeholders, which is kind of why all this is being crammed at the end. We want to make sure that parents, staff members, even students, had input into this process. So I will be sharing more with that in my e-blasts, and then obviously in the fall, when more of the plan is taking shape, I'll be sharing it with everybody. So. And that, apart from PSSA testing being over, we're very relieved. And I did want to share one more thing about kindergarten, which I just learned all these years. I was not aware of this. Mary's probably known for years, but I was not aware of the countdown in kindergarten. I was not aware of the alphabet countdown, which I said that feels like that'd be long, like every day is just one letter, but they assure me it's not. So when you get to 26 days, they start the alphabet countdown. All these years, I was not aware of that. So obviously the last day will be the letter Z.
In 2020, we couldn't do it. That was because we got pulled out.
Oh, right.
Like,
Yeah.
this is my first year doing this, even though I have no.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, and I don't know if it is new, but I was not aware of this. So very excited. Yeah, but when I see my kindergarten friends, I mean, right now I know where we are. They just told me it's obviously 26 days, but I'm sure sometime next week I'm gonna stop and say, what letter are we on? What letter are we on? So, yeah, so just want to share that from kindergarten as well. And thank you to PTO for everything, for the teachers this week. Very appreciative.
Question.
Sure.
Is there gonna be a movie on the bus?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, and the puberty video. We got an email about.
Yes.
What's the short staff? Like why, it said it like that we had to show it at home because they were short.
I would actually defer to Deb Sweeney on that.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not
I mean,
aware.
we showed it. I just
Yeah,
wondered.
no, I'm honestly not aware. of what that could be. It could be nursing department across K-12.
Did they usually show it in school?
In the past, pre-COVID, it was in school. No went home to parents could preview. Yeah,
I have to say,
but normally, it typically came directly from the nurse.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciated, this might be unpopular opinion, but I appreciated that it was sent home for parents to view with the
Yeah.
child personally. Because I just felt like even though he was mortified to watch this video
Mhm.
in my presence.
Yeah,
Being
yeah,
able
but,
to- yeah, being able to be there.
but the thing is, like, I mean, what upset me about it is that, like, not every parent is gonna see them, and the kids who actually need to see it in the school the most are the ones who are least likely to see it, you know, I've been talking about puberty with my kids and, you know, whatever. But like, there's plenty of parents who've never mentioned it, and then this would be the first instance that they would have it, so I found it like. I just hope that it's not because of the political climate and that they, you know. There was like some suspicions and chatter going around that that's why people were avoiding it, but.
I
No,
thought maybe we didn't have enough.
it is likely, I should say likely, but I know that there's discussion of, is it coming back into the school next year?
Okay.
So, yeah, I just have to defer to the nursing department on decision making. I just knew it was pushed out.
Oh,
But for a couple of years, it had to be sent out,
Yeah.
right?
It's like in our
Obviously,
school, like the gym teacher shows it to
Yep.
all the boys and the nurse shows it to the,
Yep.
you know, so it's like they do see it, but I didn't know if it was like we didn't have enough male staff or what.
Yeah, no, it's, I believe it's nursing department. Like,
Yeah, my last question is,
Sure.
I'm hearing like rumors that the calendar is incorrect for next year, that there's like something wrong with the number of hours.
That is correct, yes. And I have to apologize because I did not get that information, quite truly. So I'm on the calendar committee and we have a parent rep as well. At that particular meeting, I was held up here. So I can't speak to all the details because I unfortunately was not in that room.
Okay.
I knew there was talk about PD days, and I thought it was more from a staff lens. What my understanding is that the number of days that were put on the board approved calendar. I can't speak to the number, but they were inaccurate in terms of the hours to meet, mostly high schools, usually always high school. So to meet that requirement, I am aware of a lot of perspectives on the matter. There may have been different ways to address that, and I think the district wanted to address it in a different way, keeping PD days in the year. So without having it in front of me, the short answer is yes. And it's that last day in June, which I didn't know until almost the day of the committee meeting. That's on me because I was not present at the calendar meeting. I believe it went from June 7th, I believe, to June 12th.
So that's now the last day. Okay.
That's
So
why-
this isn't like changing the whole thing.
Oh, no, no,
Was
it's,
that voted on, or is that still up for vote?
I believe it was in committee, so I think it might be on the next board.
So. Okay.
What was unfair to me is. We got through reading all of the content of that email, and then at the very end, it said, the high school is still gonna be short 12.2 hours of instruction, and I was kind of like, well. Okay, so what's gonna happen next? We're gonna add more days to the calendar?
I can't speak to that. I would say probably not. There's probably alternative ways to get hours from the high school.
So.
Yes, that is correct.
So we're starting pre-Labor Day. But still ending the same time that we would have if we started
2 days
actually
early.
today.
The change, I believe, is from the 7th to the
I mean,
12th.
they have a lot.
So it's 3 extra days.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same
We get a
week.
lot.
So, no, it's not.
No, I
We're
mean,
supposed
like-
to end on a Friday.
No, I mean, like.
The same
this
week
year.
we would have done.
Take it to the Board of Education meeting.
Oh, I've already emailed them and gotten a response, so we're not.
I should know this. Are parents allowed to come to graduation?
Yes, absolutely. No, absolutely. Well,
Well,
no, if that's a question, I just do a good enough job to communicate. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, we currently, when we do ask, keep it to a relatively small, but we do not have a cap. We haven't, fortunately, we've never had to. This year, we have 82 kids currently, so it should be good.
Any other questions for Mr. Honeywood?
Well, just one more thing. So I know we've talked a little bit about this, some of the members and I, but like, I feel though we're always left off of Dr. Eco's emails, I know that.
Dr. what?
Dr. Russell, that's my superintendent, I'm sorry.
There's a reason for that.
I'm like, is that just like an oversight that he doesn't mention NPE?
There was an oversight on the last one, yes.
Yeah.
Friday. Friday, because I emailed, I saw, and I emailed the, new PR liaison. And said, here's my e-blast, I know you're on it, you know, here, I want to resend it. I did get a response back, because with his messages, there are pieces that, you know, whatever. Our people work on, I do think it was an oversight, I mean, I will say that. But I did talk with, the bottom line is this. The website changed, as everyone knows. The calendars were all over the place, as everyone knows, I can say that publicly. So I think the place where that information was pulled, for whatever reason, didn't necessarily have ours on it. There were conflicts this year because some calendars didn't jive. So steps have been taken to fix that. First one, a calendar committee, where we put up the dates and the conflicts. So my short answer is it was an oversight. B, it was from where the information was pulled.
Okay, so we're
Yes.
not the redheaded.
Not at all. Not at all.
The first.
Yeah, not at all, not at all.
I just like, for people to understand that the perception is out there, because it has been.
People have
repeated
been
issue.
mentioning.
It's multiple months that NPE has been left off of the calendar, and I do know that parents have emailed the office.
Mhm.
And they've not gotten responses from the district. So I think there's just a level of frustration.
And please note, I'm more than happy to have this particular conversation offline, so I can hear specifically what calendars people are looking at. Because there are multiple calendars, right? There's the district, there's the NPE, there's the one that we try to send, so
Yeah.
feel free to call me and give me more feedback so I can specifically look at what you're looking at.
Well, no, you know, you'll go back.
All right. Well, no, just so I can, but I can help,
Yeah.
just what I can control, so.
One kind of related thing, the teacher web pages have not been accessible on our website. Do you know if we have a website?
They were there, in September when the district moved the webpage, that was the first one, it's like where the teacher web pages go. During that time, somehow they were made available, so I thought they were there,
Recently.
my understanding is they're there. But I will check.
It like the- Huh?
Clear that.
Turn on your cookies. Can you, I'll be more specific about what I'm clearing, my cache.
I'll check, I can check right
Like
now.
a couple weeks ago, because I was looking for passwords, and I couldn't access any of them.
The webpage,
Yeah.
staff webpage, let me check.
I will say though too, like. I can't- this is the process first, maybe. She has her in her like signature of her email, which is really helpful, so maybe we
Yeah.
can suggest that to all the teachers. Because I know there was a problem with the webpage. So, we can suggest that in their signatures of their emails, so it goes out to parents every time they send them the nice emails. Cause I can get hers, he's very good.
Do we all have a webpage? No.
Not all of them
Not
have
all.
feedback.
No,
but
they
they
didn't
all
all
have
have
it.
it. They just have basic.
Yeah, I mean, I know it COVID, I feel like we did, but I don't. is that
No,
thing
but-
still?
and to be fully transparent, I think some of the, what I would say, the requirements need to be revisited from the district. Because now, as a result of the pandemic, teachers have Google Classroom,
Right.
potentially Seesaw, so that it's not as if they're, you know, it would be great if we align it, that is something that's in the works, right? Some teachers use the webpage, you know, weekly, if not daily, and then others really use their Google Classroom, so
I don't know.
that's kind of where we are. But I would say for consistency, it's something that we are talking about, is like, all right. You know, what can we agree upon at least, you know, one consistent for K-2, one consistent 3 to 5. The web pages are still there, that's part of the discussion, because some teachers are like, I've been doing my web page for 10 years, I love it, don't take it away. And then others like, I love this Google Classroom, I can send it out, I can do this, so that's kind of the dilemma we're having.
Is there anybody on Zoom that has a question for Mr. Heinley?
Call me, yeah, call me.
No, I appreciate all the
Yes,
questions.
yes.
I think there's questions that some of us don't know about, so it's great. All right, then I think we'll move into committee updates. We wanted to just talk about teacher appreciation, Mayfair and fifth grade, were the three committee updates. Anybody have anything else that they want to add to that list? All right, but before we want to do that, we want to. Yeah. Give Mr. Hinley a belated.
Happy present,
Oh, a belated principal day for everything that you do, so thank you. Thank you.
Did stop him in the parking lot the other day and I said, I just want to let you know, your Facebook appreciation post isn't all. That was more than that.
I'll say that post was our most responded to post of the year.
Yes.
It was,
The most
absolutely.
reacted to post.
It was like, I think it got the most views too.
So we're very thankful.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Been a wonderful year.
No, I appreciate it. And that post meant, I think. More to me, it just meant a lot. I'll just leave it at that. Being in this position. Is difficult, you know, you have students, you have 70 staff members with different personalities, you have 350 families with different kids and different needs. And it's, you know, it can be very challenging, but the reason I've stayed here for 11 years and the reason why I don't want to do anything else is because of what the community has done for me since I've been here. And how much the community has welcomed me and taken me in. And most importantly, the students, you know, the kids are just so great. And the staff, I can truly say when we faced the pandemic, et cetera, and everything else, if it wasn't, the parents here were tremendous, despite everything else going on outside in the world. And the teachers were phenomenal. And it's taken a couple of years for all of us. It's almost like post-traumatic stress. And it's true. It's true. And I just appreciate it. Every time something comes up, a challenge that faces the community or myself or our staff. As difficult as it is, this school community really has kept the attention on what's most important, and is my child safe, and do they enjoy going to school? We want the high stakes testing, we're longing for sophomore, whatever that means. It's about this community, and this community saying, is my child safe? And do they like going to school? And that's the environment that I want to be in. For lack of better words, we kind of keep it real, you know, here, and I also appreciate that. You know, it's like a family. You have good days and bad days, but the bottom line is that just meant the world to me, right? It just did. And even seeing, I'll just say, even seeing a couple names where wow, we've had some difficult discussions. You know, and I appreciate that because there's an underlying trust that the majority of the parents have, no matter how difficult a situation that we're facing. The parents trust this school, and I really value that, and that's hard to maintain and to grow and easy to lose. And that's kind of how I try to do things here. But bottom line, it meant the world to me. So thank you all. Thank you.
Leah, how old are your youngest?
My youngest,
Yeah,
almost there.
but anyone have any younger?
Jerry,
Well,
Five.
Huh? Five?
Two.
Two, all right.
Almost
Well,
a year old.
hopefully you'll stay here another 9 years.
I hope.
At least that much more and more as anybody has another child.
It's really,
Yeah.
I get 9 years before whether it's. You get 9 years.
No,
before
I'm out.
it's
I'm out.
good.
Yeah, when the next strategic plan. I can probably, I didn't say that.
All right, well, thank you for
Thank you.
that, and for your words too. So, committee reports, teacher appreciation week. 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Where's her? Erica, if you want to say anything, I don't.
Erica Zito is on there, Hillary's here and here, Erica Ritter, I don't think is on there, but Vanessa's on there, it's so far, it's been great though, do you wanna talk about Monday?
Monday was great. The delivery computers went really well. All the teachers got their lunches. Everyone was really happy. We had some great options. We put them together in little bags and delivered them to all the teachers in their rooms, and it was a big success.
Yeah,
So sweet.
we got a thank you.
I was like, wow.
It was worth it. It was worth it. You guys deserved it, so.
We got a thank you note from Mrs. Foreman, saying it was doing the best food they've ever had.
Mrs. Rudy too.
Mrs. Rudy, teacher's just a wonderful surprise, and I thought the hand delivery that you and Jenny did
Above and beyond.
was a
It
really
was nice to
sweet.
be able to do it.
Yeah, Tuesday was Lotto Day, oh, and Sarah. Sarah, Lotto Day.
We just, the teacher got two $2 tickets, a little bit of candy, hopefully somebody won. So that's been $1 to me, get multiple tickets, he got a pack, and came up with it, I'm like, thanks, honey, I appreciate the help. So we're trying to get it in the way of tickets, so hopefully somebody won, because there's the whole pack.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything, but.
Lotto tickets, today we did a.
Let's create a staffing issue.
Today we did a trail mix bar, so we had popcorn, candy, chocolate chips, nuts, dried fruit. There were cute little bags, I think said, thanks for keeping our kids on, yeah. Thank you. Please.
Just thank you for leading us on the trail to success.
Really good.
The bags are a little smaller than we used to, we put bowls and stuff out, and you know, hopefully we have some of both. Tomorrow's swag day, I don't think it's been publicized. I don't think it's been publicized, but it's something really cool. The NPE logo on it, and I wanted one. It's great, it's really great. Erica Ritter did a great job with that. And then, Friday, Vanessa did some amazing work with, something. That's naturally beautiful. So, needless to say, it's been
Thank you to all the volunteers that are putting this together. It really is. a great deal. Anybody online want to say anything before we move on? Thank you, Vanessa and Erica, for your help with it. It really is. We've had a really great event this year, like across the board. Everything's been top notch. So, all right. Mayfair, Jessica and Shannon, I see you online. We are just going to provide an update to like call for volunteers, but if there's anything that either of you want to say about Mayfair, want to create some time for you there.
I think a call for volunteer.
Go ahead, Jess.
I was gonna say, call for volunteers is great. We have a lot of fun things lined up for the community or for the students. Some bounce houses, and the township is letting us borrow some of the games that they have, so you can save a little bit of money there and put it into other things. And then Shannon worked on arranging some other things. Shannon.
I thought you were going to run with it now. So we'll have a DJ coming, pretzels, Kona water ice is going to be there. So it should be fun. I think we're moving in the right direction.
And we do have some high school. I'm working out a schedule as we speak, but minimum of 8 to 10 and potentially some National Honor Society kids helping as well. So I'll be in touch about that.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
But yesterday when I counted, there were 22 spots open on the sign up Genius. So if anybody here, or anybody that's reading the minutes wants to volunteer for it, I think it's May 26th, the Friday before Memorial Day, and the rain date is Big May Day in June, the week following.
PM kindergarten, are they coming? Are they being invited that morning?
AM kindergarten is invited to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
PM, I'm sorry, and I do have an updated schedule, Mrs. Ames, Mrs. Brill, that to send you, just because in the past we had different lunches, but basically it's the same window. I believe there's a separate session for PM.
Yeah, that's what it looked like on the slide.
Yeah.
So
okay,
my
yeah, if you can, I
volunteer-
think people are, yeah, if we can get that scheduled, because I think people signed up to be with their kids. So if it's gonna
Oh,
shift too
okay,
much,
okay,
we're gonna need
All right.
to let them know that.
all right, I'll check on it right
So
now
if
for
I
you.
volunteer for the morning, can I bring my PM kindergarten with me since we're gonna be outside?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
And I would say that we aimed high for volunteers, so I'm not stressed too much about not having enough. The plan is kind of to just make this like a free for all for them and not needing too much. Like, I don't want to be chasing after balls all day, and I don't want other parents to have to do that either. So, like, yeah,
Yeah.
we should be pretty good on volunteers.
Many hands make light to work. So, great. Any questions about Mayfair, right? Yeah, Mayfair. All right, not Spring Fest. All right, and then last committee update was fifth grade, a lot of exciting things to go there, so Julie, I think that's in the year,
Yeah.
too, right?
Yes, so fifth grade committee, everything's going well, apparently I can get a graduation. Spread the word, I saw some comments on Facebook, thank you, staff, and responded. The fifth grade pool party that is on June 5th, that is during the school day. So if any parents are asking about the times, I don't know the exact times, but it's during the school day. The fifth grade dance is actually 7 to 9 p.m.
Oh, it is? Did I not fix it?
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's 7 to, we're volunteers, it's different, but it's 7 to 9 p.m. We are very excited about that. That's at the PAC in Swarthmore. It's all 3 schools. We have a photo booth that's coming in. It's gonna be awesome. We split the volunteers for that event between the 3 schools. So we're really only looking for 10 volunteers per school. Right now, we have 3. So if you're a 5th grade parent, we have 3 volunteer spots available. One in a game room, which will have like cards and chess. So it'd be awesome if anyone's interested in games, they would want to volunteer in that room. And then one in a sensory room. So there was some feedback in years past that it was, students wanted to be included, but it was very loud and overwhelming. So downstairs, we will have a sensory / craft type room. And then one extra exit door person. So if any of you are a 5th grade parent and would want to volunteer, again, you'll be in the room or in the area with 2 other parents because there's one from each school. But game room, sensory room, or an exit door, please let us know. The homeroom parents should have sent out the sign up genius. I forwarded it to them and asked for them to send it on. Okay, it's good to know. So I will get that sign up out.
Could Mr. Heinley send that out through a 5th grade e-blast?
We could even probably post it for the 5th grade. We went this route first, to try to go direct to the 5th grades. I know some teachers got it because I saw different people from the classroom sign up. Maybe not all of them did, but I will.
I mean, not that I would sign up for volunteering dance, but don't worry about it.
But you'd be great in like the fight room.
Yeah,
or the game room.
Great, have fun.
Get that out, and then graduation, we have the yearbooks have been ordered, the t-shirts have been ordered, so we're really excited for the kids. And the day after the 5th grade trip, they will get to go to the middle school and learn, about comets and astros. So, the last question is, typically this meeting, there would be representatives from the Home and School Association for the middle school. They felt this year that it was easier to meet all the 5th grade parents in one spot at the the 5th grade parent meeting night at the middle school. So to talk about school kits and things like that. So that will be happening on the 23rd. And then last thing, does anyone have any questions about 5th grade events?
Do we know what time the swimming party is?
I don't.
Is the pool gonna be
Johnny
done?
posted it.
Oh, the pool will be done. The pool will be done.
Johnny
The pool will be
posted
done.
it.
What's that? Because he knows. 11:30. Okay. Okay. I didn't think he didn't know the last time I asked him.
He doesn't know.
He knows now. Okay, thank you.
Any Zoom fifth grade questions? Did you have one, Jess? I thought you started to say something. And then just before I turn it back over to Mike, I did want to give a shout out, and I would love for Leah to chime in on this. But our girls on the run, yes, they completed their practice 5K on Tuesday. It was 19 girls safely running through the streets of Wallingford. I will tell you, I did not think I was gonna have to work as hard to keep up with them. They did amazing. Thank you to the parents who did water stations, cheered us on. It was really incredible to see them do that. If you want to add anything.
It was.
You led the pack.
Yes, and I did not plan on meeting the. Glad for every break that we got. It was awesome. I did not even realize we had PTO or the NPE water jug, so thank you for letting us use that. It was amazing, and if anyone has a girl 3rd through 5th grade next year, I would highly recommend looking into either like volunteering with it or having your daughter do it. This is a really fun program.
It is. It's super flexible. Like we were able to rotate and fill
Yeah.
it for each other. It was a great experience. And our real 5K will be on the 21st at the Union Stadium.
Yeah.
It's Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties. Anyone can sign up. So they encourage everyone to have a running buddy. We do have, I think, a couple girls who don't have a running buddy. We of course are all gonna be there. No, we're all gonna be there, but it can be anyone. I believe registration is still at $30 until Friday.
I feel like we should reach out to like the high school.
It's May 21st.
Yeah.
And if it's after Friday, then you just have to register the day of. But yeah, it's in the Union Stadium, so it's pretty cool. The girls are really excited. We got them matching tie-dye socks and matching headbands and.
And we're doing the fundraiser, right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you might talk about that.
Yes, so they're collecting new stuffed animals for the police department and the police, they're going to try to stuff it out on Friday, as long as they don't have any emergencies to collect them. They were super excited about it, both the girls and the police officers, but it was neat because they had to all 19 of the girls had to come together and think of a community impact project. And they went from tons of ideas and then.
Making the stuffed animals
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
by hand.
Yeah.
That's
They're
great.
making
Yeah,
treats for a bake sale to sell at school dismissal.
yeah.
You'll love that. Yeah, but it was really cool.
I thought it was really cool too, that we did see police, like when we were standing at the water station, the police did come by
Oh,
and were
did
like,
they?
and they were, yeah, so they were like, oh, we're gonna go to watch for them and cheer them on, so they were also participating in it, so it was
That's-
really, really a cool community aspect to that too.
Cool. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any other committee updates? Last thoughts there. All right, then we're gonna move into new business. The first thing we're gonna do. Some of the things that we talked about 5th grade in general, particularly like the meal vouchers coming forward. PTO, and we met last night, the executive board wanted to kind of say well, we think we actually could cover that additional cost. And so we were gonna bring forward to cover the cost of $1,000 for the meal ticket, but then we looked at the 5th grade 2 line items for the 5th grade trip, as well as the 5th grade year-end activities. And year-end activities is probably gonna be under budget. So we wanted to just make a motion to combine the field trip and the end of year activities for the 5th grade, just in the one line item for 5th grade activities. And give the committee the flexibility to do this rather than have to do anything, so. Accept a motion to combine the 2 5th grade line items into one. Okay, that works. Good enough. Anybody have any questions or discussion? Or need us to clarify why, so it essentially doesn't change our budget bottom line, it just gives them the flexibility to spend it how
How the
the
committee
5th grade
is
class
doing it.
needs to. Okay,
And it will be up to the board next year, how much they want to budget for the fifth grade for the following year and the year after that.
yeah, but it essentially sets the budget for the fifth grade, like this year at 8,500.
Okay.
Regardless of any other money that happened to be there about trips that may not be named, so.
And
Alright.
if anyone has questions about that, just to let you know, transportation is typically, it is the highest expense out of that budget. So 8,500 might seem high for fifth grade celebration, but it's really the transportation that eats up that.
It was part of the budget too that we all approved,
Yes.
so it's like, it's in there. All right, so all those in favor of combining the two lines? Aye. Any opposed? People don't like silence after 7 seconds. So I count to 7. It gives you enough time to get off mute. Okay, great. So that approved, that motion passes. All right. So the other thing, when we take a look at the budget, we're expecting to like probably with like expenses that we're still expecting. There's $45,000 in the bank right now. We expect to end with a balance of about $40,000 by the end of the year, give or take. So we wanted to come forward with some ideas since it was the last meeting, just to like approve some expenses. Or bring forward and hopefully just get like approval to proceed. We don't have all the details of it. But the first and the biggest one is a sunshade for both the garden area here, because it's not being able to use as much because some of the trees were cut back. And then also a sunshade for the playground area. Exactly where to go. We did some preliminary research and think that it looks like it's like $7,000 to $10,000 for installation of those two things. So we wanted to put forward, so like just approve the PTO to purchase up to $20,000 towards sunshades over the summer. The reason we can't necessarily move overly quickly right away for the garden area is that there's going to be work done on the roof here, so we just need to time that with when that will, but if there's any opportunity to move forward on this over the summer, we just want to have approval from the general population or the, what do we call this, General Assembly? Thank you, General Assembly, that we can do that, so.
And we had the approval from the district's aware of the plan, it's just a matter of when we know the specifics and dimensions, but for both areas, operations is aware, I've communicated with them, so we can move forward.
I'd like to make a motion to approve up to $20,000 to pay for sunshades for the garden area and for the playground. Second.
Alright. Any discussion, any questions? This is like a huge number and like half of the reserves. But also like, we're sitting on $40,000, so like, we don't need that much, so, yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
yes,
Like I've always thought we need shade.
yeah,
Only one thing comes up, but I mean, this can happen anytime. I feel like a lot of times, like what happened with Kate, like they do all, like people are doing big things and then like people are, it's getting vandalized and like, do we have, I don't want to say the cameras, like to deter people, but like, I guess it's just like a thought, like what if we put this $20,000 out and then that night, like teens come and like cut it or throw stuff or do stuff. And I get, maybe that's just a risk that we.
Or the shed.
Or the shed, yeah, yeah.
right.
How disruptible are they?
Well, are they gonna be taken down every night or is it a permanent fixture?
It would be permanent, but could be taken down, but not daily.
Think about the media tot lot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it goes up to 3/4 of the year and then they take it down.
But I would
understand
still
your.
vote, I would still.
Yeah,
vote
it's-
for it and say like to do it, I just think it should be like in the back of everyone's mind,
Yeah,
like,
right,
oh,
right.
like we might be like.
Yeah,
Is that?
I mean, the outdoor classroom has been untouched.
That's true.
There are cameras out there, which is well known. We did have an incident last summer, but it wasn't the shed itself. It was, we want access to the roof. So it wasn't as if they were even trying to get into the shed. Matter of fact, everything was in there. It was, that was the means to get up to the roof. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
fact wise,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
have we fixed?
But I mean,
People are aware there are cameras. I know that to be true. The coverage of the playground is okay. Unfortunately, even like things during the day, there's a lot of glare. And the further down the playground you go, the less clarity I have with the camera. Plus at night, you know, it's motion, it is motion censored. But we haven't faced a lot. Recently, we've had a little bit of graffiti on the playground.
Yeah.
But again, the outdoor classrooms have never been vandalized. Our garden, right, with vegetables has not been vandalized. So just keeping in
Yeah.
perspective how, you
Yeah.
know, yes, of course, there's a risk, but
May I ask a question?
Yes, please,
Yes.
Erica.
So is there any value or thought of maybe just some signage that says like this area is under video surveillance to deter, as opposed to, because that's a very cheap, possible, helpful deterrent if we're gonna spend money like that?
yeah, I can certainly probably try to get that from operations. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Operations can provide that,
I think
the signage,
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if not,
if not, then.
If
if it's under $250.
Yeah.
Do a sign at a
Yeah.
time. Alright, any other questions online? Oh, is there a question in the chat?
I am.
Here, I'll run up.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Other questions in the room before we get that one then? Jess, you ready?
Yeah.
And we don't know the pricing yet, so that's why they're asking for up to 20,000.
Okay, that's good to know. Signage
Cool.
is effective, great, okay.
Can I ask
Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead.
Mr. Heinley, you just said something about the cameras and sun glare being an issue. And
Times a day, yeah.
so separate from, you know, this investment, is there something that can be done about that, like just from a safety standpoint? Because I would imagine if there was ever an instance where these cameras were really needed, you wouldn't want sun glare to be an issue while you're not getting proper footage of an incident. So just a thought, and maybe more just a comment from a parental perspective, but from a safety factor, I would imagine there's something that can be done for that. Like I would hate for that to ever be an issue if there was a real incident.
Yeah, no, your point is well taken. There are other cameras that I do employ when that comes out. The one specific issue that I can't solve is the sheer distance of where the swings are from the building. Because obviously the cameras are attached to the building, at least at this point. So the sheer distance is the one issue. The sun glare, yes, can be an issue, but I do have cameras along the car line that can also provide a perspective, but then you have the playground equipment, the dumpsters and other things, but yes, it's something I can certainly ask about, but we are limited in where we can have cameras. That's the only other issue.
Right.
that-
And you're not,
Yeah,
you're
but I
not
do have other cameras. That's what I guess, that's what I'm trying to say.
okay, and you're not seeing that issue with the cameras that are located around the doorways, I imagine? Is that just that specific area?
It's that specific area, yeah, and that's also seasonal as well. That's not a year-long issue.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? So again, it's up to 20,000. Just so that we can kind of get this moving and hopefully have this in place as soon as possible.
Erica, put your hand down.
All right, oh,
She's doing it.
okay.
Are you messing with me?
I
All
don't know
right.
if it's on anymore. Is it up or down?
It's up now. It was down and then it went back in. All right, all those in favor? Keep your hand up now, Erica. All right, any opposed? All right, so we're approved to have $20,000 to go towards, up to $20,000 go towards sunshades. The next thing that we wanted to do was looking at a 2023 expenditure is to pre-purchase some t-shirts, like the 3 to B t-shirts. There's some families that actually need them now. Our inventory is super low. Just figured we can front load that expense now, have the t-shirts available come August rather than have it be an August expense and then have to like back pay and stuff like that. So
To clarify, the incoming new students all get one for free, so that they don't have to pay for them outright. And when they first come in, so every student has at least one. when they start at NPE. So that's what generally in the beginning of the year, we make a big purchase and we are able to provide that for all of the new incoming students. And then we actually purchased extra, but we have run out of that allotment now. So we're trying to replenish that as well as forethought for next year. And then next year you can use the budget to pay for the next year if you need to.
So, accept a motion to spend up to $1,000 for 3D t-shirts. All right, Michelle, you got the motion at a second? Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? Any opposed? All right, so we approved $1,000 for t-shirts. Another expense to approve for this year would be up to $500 for the June 2nd dinner, if there's any needs of teachers need in doing that. That was discussed earlier today. That's the motion for that. Thanks, Michelle. A second. All right. Any discussion? Any discussion on this? Shannon, your hand is up, but maybe from the last vote, you voted. Assume you're voting yes.
Sorry, yeah, I was just trying to vote. It took me a while to find the raise hand.
All right, all those in favor? All right, any opposed? All right, good. Then we'll have $500 available for the June 2nd dinner if we have any expenses. All right, the last expense to talk about is, this is for the 23-24 budget. So because that budget isn't approved until the September board meet or September meeting, we wanted to pre-authorize the $2,000 expense line for the pool party, the welcome back pool party in August. So we just want to get permission from the General Assembly here that the board can plan that pool party as a welcome back celebration in August. I'm gonna say thank you excited.
It's over.
Yeah, right. All 2 years that we've done it. So. It's a true statement when you say it's always. So you just want to create like approval to spend that pre-authorization for the 23-24 budget of up to $2,000 for the pool party.
And we did the same last year for this incoming. So we were able to plan the party and, you know,
Legally.
and do it and pay for it with our current budget that we have.
I make a motion.
I have someone for this year.
Okay, that's on. Sweet effort. Any discussion on that?
Is 2,000 enough? How much did it cost last year?
1,700-ish.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
It was either 17 or 18, but
Yeah.
yeah, we came under that this year. And honestly, I think the ice cream truck helped bring the cost down versus getting the water ice and the pretzels from the year before.
It's also less labor intensive.
Yes,
Oh, God, it's so
less volunteer and
And a good way to support our community ice cream.
great way, so, yeah.
Where are we? On vote?
Yes.
That was the discussion. All right, vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, any additional new business? Anybody want to spend any more money on anything?
Well, this is not money, but adult social. So my buddy Tom and I, we were trying to really get this together before the end of the year, but with all the events and everything, there just wasn't a good day. But we really want to have it at the beginning of next year. So we've already talked to Ship Bottom, they're on board, it seems really easy. So I do think that's something we should talk about, you know, when the new board comes together and all of that.
We'll talk over this one.
Yes, and we'll plan for like probably September.
It's perfect.
Sounds good.
Just don't make the mistake that we made last year and think that it's a good idea to put on back to school night. And then move it on back to school. So. Sorry. What?
And it was, by the time people were done with back to school, and I had to go out.
It was-
And the late time.
Intentions and.
Now we have a, you guys are gonna do it.
But now we have the space, like Ship Bottom wasn't there in this fall,
Yeah.
so like, for us to have the space to be able to do it, because we were gonna rent. space.
And we talked to SRS, we got all the deets, like, we're good.
Cool.
They're doing that. Under, so it's-
Yes.
Alright, any other questions, any other new business? I think we can accept the motion to adjourn.
Except not quite yet.
Oh.
Hello, and then you're rolling.
Last order of business is a thank you to Mike and Julie and Steph and Jess for all of the hard work that they put in. Sarah, Ally and I got you guys a little gift, so thank you very much for all of your work.
Yeah. For every agenda that you put together all year long.
Thank you, that's really possible.
You really did do all the agendas.
It was really good.
No, that was our.
Every relationship has a natural, like.
Division of labor.
And Mike naturally fell into the agenda. Oh,
Thank you, Ally. That was
Yeah.
really sweet of you.
Very nice, I'll never, oh, well done, I'm not gonna do this again for a while. I have very good, so.
Yeah, you're Sarah.
Leave them back, leave them for yours.
All right,
Thanks,
anything
Paul.
else?
Thank you. Now you can.
Michelle, do you want to motion to adjourn?
I will.
All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, thank you all for being here. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you for a drama reader.
Not a drama free year, a drama free 2 years. We have gone 2 years.
No, a drama free hospital.
The 2 years of free personal.
Exactly, my husband, exactly. Yeah.